So this is our headquarter office and program office campus in Oakland. And we developed this mixed-use center, 30,000 square foot in 2019. And it's located in East Oakland. Okay, the next slide, Sue.
Sue, let me do that.
Okay.
Okay, our apologies. Lao Family's vision, we've been around for 42 years. And about 3 years ago, we had reorganized our strategic plan. And we operationalized our 5-year plan. And Lao Family has a vision. We envision a world where all communities are thriving.
Yes.
We believe that obviously that not all communities are thriving, as we can all see with our homeless and the immigrant and lower educated and lower income individuals who have been affected by COVID, and the essential workers who basically were unemployed. And our mission is full. And the mission of the organization is to advance the financial well-being, as well as health well-being in our community. And we do this by delivering culturally informed housing services, employment services, as well as support. I think income support and family supports are the most critical things because, in our community, we have exceptional adult schools, we have exceptional community colleges. But what families really need, immigrants and refugees, and also community members who are on public welfare, or if they're on CalWorks, they're disabled, they're homeless, they're coming out of reentry, then what they need is case management support. That information and referral isn't as effective. It's important, but what they really need is case management and integrated service. Okay, so I think, where are we at with our slides?
We so sorry, we have the technical issue. Let me share it. Did you see the screen?
Okay, we can see
I thought I shared the screen.
Huh?
I thought I shared the screen. You
okay,
guys
let's go to the screen. This is slide 3. Just for background, our organization, we were founded in 1980, 42 years ago, by, we started off as a self-help group developed by refugees and my family and the community members and friends. And we started because it was really essential when we came here as refugees in 1978 to the Bay Area. There were very few, really no place that we could go to where they had individuals that spoke our language. Remember that Lao Family was founded by 5 tribal groups from the mountains of Laos who had been displaced to the Bay Area because of their alliance and assistance to the US government during the Vietnam War. What we found in the early days of serving refugees and immigrants is that what the families need is strength-based, person-centered wraparound service. And we have found after 42 years that accreditation is really important for us because it's part of our sustainability. And it's also to have a manual and to have systems that are built so that as people change, they retire, they move on to other positions, they look at jobs differently. You have to have some way of distinguishing yourself in being a quality organization that has systems and that has standards. And because of our work in serving refugees and seniors and individuals who don't speak English, or seniors and homeless, these are vulnerable populations. And that's really important for us, our standards of quality of care and quality of staffing. Excuse me, I have allergies here today. So we have earned a accreditation from CARF International, Commission on the Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities. And it all started because of our work being certified vendor to the Department of Rehab, serving youth and adults with disabilities. So we stay focused and with our strategic plan. We have grown as an organization. When we started, really, we began with $1 donations from families and a $5 telephone and a $25 typewriter from the Alameda City flea market. Today, we're a $34 million organization. We have 70 plus contracts that we bid on from the government and from foundations, and then we also have individual donations and earned income. And we are proud to have been finalists with BOSS, and of course, ultimately BOSS won, but one of the East Bay Innovation Community Impact awardees. We were a finalist. And also, we're very proud of our work with the Department of Rehab, serving social service agencies, serving individuals with disabilities. And of course, in recent years, we made huge headways in the work of AB 109, transitional to permanent housing, and AB 109 workforce programs. We have 142 full-time employees who are all mostly multicultural, multilingual. And we have about 20 locations, of which 13 are service locations and 7 are transitional to permanent housing sites. So we started with zero housing I think it was 2006 when I joined. We had 32 units of housing. Now we have 344 units of housing. And of course, we're very proud to work with over 1,000 private businesses and community-based organizations. And the fact that, we've been able to serve and to help over 500,000 lower income, high barrier Californians has been an honor for us to do this work. Okay, next slide. So a lot of we integrate our programs because I think, we're going to talk about this in a little bit, that all sorts of programs that we operate, all the government funding, from city funds to county funds to state funds and federal funds, they have very strict geographic eligibility as well as specific types of eligibility. So it's really important for us, in order for us to advance the financial well-being, independence of our families, that we need to have core, strong programs that we can integrate. And we look at the whole family. It has to be a holistic approach, because families or individuals are holistic. They have holistic need, and they have mental health needs. They have physical health needs. They have emotional health needs. They have income. They have jobs. They have housing. And so what we try to do is we try to secure all of these different programs from 70 different sources, and we can weave all the funding together so that the customer gets the most service. And of course, we have everything from basic needs like food bank and clothing, and an address for them, a place that they can store their important documents, cognitive therapy, prevention, early intervention, and health services. And housing is a big part of our work as well. And as you can see over here, we have permanent affordable housing, we have transitional housing, we have warm handoff, we have savings and income taxes and voter registration, repairing your credit, going to high school, getting a GED, the community college and universities, and creating community centers so that we can serve them in one place. So this is a big part of the way that we deliver service for immigrants and refugees and special needs populations. Next slide. This, I mentioned that we have these core programs, and this is now Family's Care Integrated Delivery Service Model for Self-Sufficiency. In recent years, the last 4 years, we've now transitioned to campus settings, and these are this is a program allow families, the CARE community centers. CARE stands for Community Accessing Resources and Education. We have 3 campuses because we operate in 3 counties. So there's our headquarter office, the top one, which is in East 12th Street in the San Antonio Fruitvale area, which is 1.5 acre, 30,000 square foot multi-service center with 3-4 computer labs. We have 4 or 5 classrooms, workshops. We have a high school ESL program. We have an ESL and a high school diploma. We also have community college in the community, a partnership with Laney College and Merritt College. And we have an incubator. We have, youth center, a senior center, really a multi-service center that the community come to, and they can be served, they can walk in. Our care campus in the middle, that's our 285 transitional to permanent housing campus that specializes in serving reentry individuals who are houseless, as well as encampment individuals who are experiencing houselessness right now. And this is all privately funded. At least the middle one, the campus, we actually just purchased the property last week. And then the one at the bottom is our care campus in Sacramento. And we purchased that last year. It's 5 acres, it's about 6 buildings. And we have a high school there, a child care. We have about 12 showers, 5 kitchens. We have a clothing closet, furniture closet, a training space, AJCC. It's really a lot. And we're building a 35 single family rental facility as well. So this integrated service, it means that a family, whether you're a nuclear family or a different kind of family, it's okay. We serve all kinds of families and with all kinds of abilities. And so we integrate everything. It's holistic approach, person-centered approach. And we begin with a comprehensive assessment and intake process. And then we have a baseline of where they're at with their income, their reading, their skill sets, their job background, their paperwork. And then we start with their public benefits screening and helping them to secure their public benefits. We help them get a job and job readiness, and so that they can have earned income. And then it's really important that they have savings. So we help them to do budgeting and coaching and opening a bank account, whether it's the first bank account or a second chance account. They often have childcare or an adult in the family that's a parent that needs care. So we want to make sure that we provide and give them access to childcare and also care for any adult family members. We try to put them into a job that has benefits so that they can have health insurance and they can have mental health insurance. They have, vaccination clinics, and they have, prenatal care. But it's really important that they have health services. And of course, transportation is critical, whether it's bike, it's Uber, it's Lyft, it's a bus fare, it's BART, light rail. We support we also have multiple vans that we can go pick them up if they have a barrier disability and they can't drive. And of course, you have to understand the world that you live in as well. So there's different minimum wages in different communities that we work in. Right now, we work in 3 counties. So Oakland has different minimum wage than Sacramento does, or Contra Costa, some of the cities in Contra Costa. And of course, they have to understand there's a California minimum wage, and then their rights in California as an employee or as a tenant or as a business owner. You have to understand the community that you live in. So as citizens, and for engaging and assimilation and acculturation, we want to make sure you understand the banking system and landlord rights and tenant rights and consumer rights. Your rights as a parent, for school, or your employee rights. Lots of different types of rights for your orientation. And of course, we talked about education. And everything from ESL to high school diploma to GED to vocational training, to community colleges, to trade school, apprenticeship, transitioning to university, a master's degree, and what education means and why long-term investment in the education is so critical. And then finally, and that is one of the most important, is about housing. We, in the last 5.5 years, have transitioned over 4,000 people from both homelessness to permanent housing in the marketplace. And we can talk about that more in a different, during the Q&A. Next slide, please. Earlier, I mentioned about accreditation. We are very thankful to Alameda County, the probation department. Several years ago, they had a community capacity grant, and we submitted the grant. And one of the things, one of the reasons why is they wanted to build a capacity of providers in the community who want to enter the world of reentry work. So La Family made that decision about 6 years ago. And then through our work with Department of Rehab, we also made a commitment that we wanted to become a nonprofit, a employment and human service organization that emphasizes best practice in selecting curriculums and best standards in our fiscal and operational management and the quality staffing and programming. And having the CARF accreditation also means that we have to be very responsive to our community and to be relevant, to have good pay and good development of our staff and their training. So that's why we're also really excited about working with EDD on an apprenticeship program for all of our employees. I think we got an award for about 90. So we're working with both, Bob Lanter's group and SETA, and working with Sacramento State University to get a workforce apprenticeship program for all of our staff. And then also we're working on a training with San Francisco State University, San Francisco State Community College, San Francisco Community Colleges for another group. So this is our accreditation. Next slide, please. So one of our golden rules, I think 2 more slides, and then Sue and Mai will take over, and Ada. But one of our golden rules for service in serving immigrants and refugees is really about having a language access policy. La Family has a language access policy, and we have a practice of providing bilingual service. That's why many of our programs, we hire staff, and one of the hiring requirements is really about having language capability, so that the service can be provided to the population that we've designed these programs for. So language policy is really critical. We have about 35 languages that we have in-house that we deliver our service to. We hire, because we think it's really important that in order to be successful, our customer is our success and the outcome for the customer. So we hire within the community of immigrant and refugee employees. And then, of course, we have to have a refugee and immigrants and the populations that we serve on our board and our management team as well. And, it's very heartwarming for us as we were doing our strategic plan, and every year when we do our stakeholder surveys, one of the things that is constantly shared with us by our stakeholders is that they trust La Family. They know that if they get a letter or they get a phone call or a weird text, they have an issue with school or with their landlord or with their benefits, they can come to our office and they can walk in or they can call, and we will give them objective information so that they can decide what's the best thing to do, is that they trust La Family. And so we're honored, and it's really important for us why we have to have very high standards to make sure we're transparent. We explain to people, how programs work and what the delivery outcome is for them. Next slide. Okay, there's a lot of best practices and policies, but we try to, this is a lot on this page, but I couldn't quite get it down to 10, but these are our 12 best practice policies on how to support clients and businesses that are immigrant and refugee clients. But really, we use the same practice for any special needs population, whether you're disabled, you're experiencing houselessness, you're a traffic victim, you're reentry, you're homeless, anyone that that has special needs. So the most important thing is that we try to be accessible to them. We try to locate ourselves in locations that are relevant to them. And we try to put ourselves, every location is adjacent to a public bus stop. And we also offer, some of our critical programs are also offer on the on the weekends and in the evenings, and we also have 24-hour service for some critical programs. We have a walk-in policy, welcome walk-in policy. You're able to be seen the same day. You can walk into our office and we'll get you in assess and meeting with a case manager on the spot, so that you might have come in for one reason, but then when we sit down with you to do an intake or orientation, then we'll find out that in fact you qualify for a lot of different programs. And I would say 99.99% of the time, a customer always qualifies. It's really important when you're working with immigrants and refugees and special needs population, you have to be immediately responsive. You can't wait, like days before you make an appointment with them. You have to be able to return their call, meet with them within 24 hours. That's one of the policies practice that we put into place. And as I mentioned, comprehensive delivery model is really critical because people have lots of different needs. So the funding that we have allows us to do the integrated service delivery model. When we design programs, we have to design the programs to be sustainable. So it has to be built to last, our organization and the program. We can't do everything, and it's okay. We have to say no, and we have to stay focused. We can't creep from our mission. So when we design programs, we try to find programs, funding, so that we can leverage them and make programs that we have already stronger. We believe that no agency is an island. We're not an island. We're very proud of the 1,000 plus private employers, community-based employers, the foundations and the public parties, the public entity, and that we have partnerships with the employers. We try to formalize everything in an operating agreement or MOU, but we need to have a warm handoff. And we can't do everything, so we're very proud, and we're constantly looking for new partners that could deliver service to our customers, like legal services or medical services that we don't have, or clinical counseling. There are lots of things that we don't have, so we're constantly developing resources. When you're serving immigrant and refugee populations, you have to go to the community where they're at. You recruit where they're at already, whether it's at the laundromat, it's the nail salon, it's the supermarket, it's the beauty salon, the barber shop, it's the park that they go to play volleyball at. It's a gathering that they're having. So go to the community until you get to the point where you're so well known and you have a really great social media and mechanism where you send a text and they all show up. Otherwise you have to go to them. Okay. And then finally, the last few points is you have to deliver with the end in mind. Give something valuable to people. When they take your time, they might have had to take multiple buses. They had to walk for a long time. They had to coordinate childcare. They had to have a friend that delivered them to your office. So when they come to you, give them something valuable. And when they come to us for help, is it a job that they need? Help them get a job. Is it education, ESL that they need, or high school diploma program? Enroll them in a program. Give them a contact for a specific person for a housing. If they need housing, help them apply for the housing. Make the call to the property manager. Give them the forms. Give them a summer internship. Help them with the SSI. Help them with their CalFresh benefits, but give them something valuable. And when you go to an event that you've been invited to, bring something with us. We don't go empty-handed. That's really important as part of building trust, is you bring something. The gesture is important. And when we design programs and we're developing it, we need to get the feedback and focus. We get focus groups and feedback from our customers so that we know that what we're designing is what they need. So we're not just thinking that we're going to design it and they're going to come. No, they're going to tell us. Our customers are very they're very frank with us. They're going to tell us if a program is helpful or not. And I think that ongoing cultural competency is really, really important. Lao family is more diverse than ever. And we constantly study our populations that we serve, the community we serve, and our employees and our funder. And it's really important to have constant cultural competency training, for our organization. Really, really critical, so that we can be relevant and responsive and successful in meeting the needs of the community. And one of the funny things that government funding doesn't allow you to do is to pay for food, maybe unless it was some training and you have an agenda and it's all day and, people can't leave for lunch, or it starts so early they couldn't even eat breakfast. But that's one of the reasons why it's so important that we have earned income, because I think food breaks barriers between people. So when we have staff meetings, and then if we sponsor and, groups in the community or community events, then we want to be able to provide food or refreshment. So when we have events in the evenings is really important, because the families may not be able to work during those hours that they're coming to class or they're coming to an event. So let's make sure that we provide childcare or a place that the kids can be safe and food for them. And then one of the simple things is, like right now, a lot of community members who practice Diwali, the holiday. They're leaving, or else if it's Eid, for the Afghan community, or if it's Easter or Christmas, Thanksgiving, we have to be mindful that when we're having events or training, or, we have to shut a program down, then you have to be mindful of the ethnic holidays and what's important from a religious and social cultural standpoint for the community. And then finally, as you're trying to build connections, bridges, and inroads, I think it's important to find the ethnic events and sponsorship opportunities, so that you can be put in front of community members who would otherwise not find you. So I think, Sal, that might be the area where I'm going to pause. Actually, the next slide.
And actually, yeah, Kathy, at that point, I would like to pause there. Can we go back to that slide? I want to open up here at this point, because as you take a look at this list, it's very significant. It's very practical recommendations, and it makes them that much more impactful because they're actually policies. They're institutionalized into the fiber of the organization. I'd like to hear from some of you whether you have similar practices and how are they working in your organization with this population, or different practices, and how are they helping you move the dial on the quality of services that you're providing for this target population. Any takers?
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Josefina Cruz Molina. I work for Centro Chao. It's a Community Hispanic Association. We are located in Long Beach, California. I definitely will say, so we mainly serve the Hispanic population, and I definitely will say that we connect with the immediate response. So we provide immigration services, and also we're doing the Accelerate program, and we're providing adult English language learners with training. So I have a group right now doing the medical assistant training. So, obviously this population, just like Kathy is saying, like any other immigrant population, they need a lot of, is like catering, right? Like working along. They have so many things, so many struggles that they're facing on a daily basis. So definitely being that person that they can call, that they can trust. And even if I don't have an immediate response like right away, or an answer to their questions, being able to, obviously get back to them on a timely manner.
Yes. Thank you, Josefina. Any others? Okay. Hearing none, I do want to pose a question to the group. And what really struck me well, the entire list, but in particular, the walk-in policy. And I know as a WIB director and operating AJCCs, we didn't always have a walk-in policy. They could walk in, get general information, but to be seen immediately by a staff member to discuss your needs and how the program may help you is something that really caught my attention. Are others also employing that practice? And if so, how is that working in your organization? Okay. And Kathy, we'll be able to share the slide presentation. Josephine, did you have a comment?
Yes, so about the walk-in welcome policy, yes, so like we say, we provide immigration services, and at least we try to complete an intake with whoever the client is, and then give them a little bit of direction, whether, okay, I think we should be able to help you, or no, we have to do a referral. We really try to make sure that, if we have to make that referral, it has to be done right away to make sure that they're not losing any time.
Got it. That's helpful. And we have roughly 12 minutes left. Kathy, could we get into your SOAR project, your walk project, and speak to?
So Sue and our director and Ada will talk about SOAR, but I'll just say this before we go into those slides. During COVID, it was really critical that we stayed open. La Family closed our office for 2 weeks, and then we prepared the whole organization and put a lot of different policies and procedures in place so that we can continue to operate our essential service as an extension of all of the contracts, for government benefits that these immigrants and refugees really need more than anything. So we found that, our community, serving our community members are the ones that have less formal education or no formal education. They're monolingual speakers. They haven't had the opportunity to go to school. So they have these amazing jobs, the reconstruction of our state, of the United States, high road jobs, high paying jobs and careers. And we wanted to create something that would give an opportunity for our community members, especially women who are so critical to a family's well-being, for them to have opportunities and exposures to a different good paying jobs with skills and a career pathway. And that's why we developed SOAR. Okay, so Sue and the team, take it away.
Sue, we can actually go straight to slide 12.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sue. Mine will be introducing about the Lao Family CEO and the Lao Family founder for this slide.
No.
I thought that we skipped this slide.
We're skipping all of
slide
it.
12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sue Down. Thank you for joining the presentation with us today. Thank you for your time. And then also thank you for Sal for the technical support and every support that you give to us for the whole year. So that we appreciate your support. So I have been with the organization for more than 18 years. I am the immigrant from Myanmar. English is my third language. So that with this SOAR program, Skills, Opportunities, Access, and Resource program, when we get the grant from the Workforce Accessory Fund, we are very excited to helping with the refugee and immigrant, particularly for women project, I myself, so that I have many challenges when I came to United States. I want to share those in my challenge and then some success, how we work with the program participant as well as the students, so that our founder, Chao, he taught us so that instead of give a fish to your client, you teach them how to fish, how to catch the fish so that they will be survive without any of our support. So that I'm going to briefly talk about the program. This program is we have the grant of serving with the women recent arrival women, and also the immigrant who have been in United States for more than 5 years, 6 years, so that they get laid off from the previous job, and then they return, they come to use our services. So that the program design is during the COVID-19, there's a lot of layoff from the economic, especially manufacturing, restaurant industry, many industry that women work in this, so that we help them with the dislocated workers, so that we help them address the issue of the needs of the employment, as well as the training ESL class, so that we address the needs of the women, what are their needs, and then and also we also expand our assets and the opportunity resources to the women, particularly for the advanced career pathway in the 21st century worker. And also ESL is very essential to the community members, especially women who have very limited education background. They want to go back to school training. We have provided the vocational ESL class, as well as the CTE Bridges program. The reason why this is very important, reading and math is very important. Most of the jobs are required to take the reading comprehensive, as well as the basic math skills, so that we want to make sure they pass the test in order to get the job. And also, we also want to helping with the not only for the entry level job, but also with the high pay career advancement, with the training to the direct employment services. We are focused on the helping with the women with the non-traditional industry, such as transportation, logistics, which is the Class A or Class B driving, forklift operator, automotive services, and the bus or truck driver. And for the manufacturing industry, we focus on the advanced manufacturing, such as assembler or quality control, logistic warehouse, and the bakery, welder position. And we also focus on the the MOU partner with the local union and different apprenticeship training program to help women with the different kind of apprenticeship training program I am working, so that more remediation, and as well as the construction trade, so that HF carpentry, plumbing, the heating, and then the air conditioning, with the different industry that can be accessed for the women to work with the non-traditional industry. We have a strong partnership with the Career Technical Education CTE program with the Prada Community College, so that such as Laney College, Mary College, and the College of Alameda, so that our family have an in-house ESL class with the Laney College as well as Mary College, so that we work with the Dean of the Education as well as instructors to making sure that the needs of the accept the needs of the students, so that we make the curriculum to accept to improve the education. And also, we are not only working with the CT education partner, we also working with the training partners with the different industries, such as IT-based, like technical industry, and also healthcare industry, and also other the HR management, and as well as we also working very closely with the Oakland Adult Career Education, because they also have many different programs that are free programs that we can strong partnership with them, and then we refer students to get the other resources.
Ada, we just got the 2 or the 3 minute notice that we'll be clocking out. At this point, since we have very limited time, could you and your team speak to the challenge of promoting non-traditional careers in light of some cultural practices that really prohibit some of these females from engaging in different occupations?
Okay, I will. So that I would like to have Ada to talk briefly about how we collaborated with the college. Ada, can you go to slide? Then mine will be go over with the challenge and address the barriers. Ada.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So just briefly going over, like we have a strong collaboration with Laney College. We host the 8 weeks VSL class on site at our Care Community Center, where the students, we recruit the students to attend the certificate class. Within that class, they learn vocational English, which includes not just everyday English, but like more workplace related terminology, including like customer service skills and math that is used in like construction trades. During their classes, they also get field trips to the actual Laney College, where they see the actual hands-on projects made by the current students at the campus, and also meeting with a student counselor or the Laney student counselor to explore or about what their career goals is. For with the SOAR program, we focus on women that may be interested in actually getting a more career than job road path, and by helping them explore what possibilities they can get into with education, or getting back into education if they already have some high experience background. And with SOAR, we emphasize on the non-traditional industries, helping them get stepping out of stepping out of the box as to explore more possibilities they can achieve.
Thank you, Ada. Mike.
So I'm jumping right into Sal's question earlier. What is our program challenging? So, as you see, there are 8 different items that we list on the list right now. This is the program that we have learned. This is our challengings. And I want us to kind of keep this in mind, so that when we doing different program, this is the tips for all of us. So recruitment, our customer need immediately job and earn income paying for rent. So when you're putting them into a training, it's a long term, it's not going to work. So you want to make sure that the training need to be short term and get the right result. I mean, the short term, because they really need to earn income. Culturals, culture is conflict on traditional values of the work that throughout the role of Afghans, women, outside employment, or indoors or outdoors, right? So really being on the assessment of their careers and their cultures, then you basically be able to help them to be able to find a right training. We facing that at the result. This is something that we want to share with you all. This is our challenge. And limited English language barriers is really challenging for our participant. Many of the training, because of their limited English speaking participant, is a little hard for them to get into the career training that what they really wanted to. So creating the bridges to different training on the career path, that will be the ideal situations. Immigration services, many of them, they want to get into the trainings, but then because of their documentation, they're not eligible to enroll into the program. That's another key factors that we want to make sure the immigration services is there. There's social adjustment components of it is there, just supporting them prior to that. And again, we mentioned earlier, transportations. We're talking about childcare. if we be able to have a childcare provided on site, that where the training is, that's awesome. That's your key, because we see that we lose many of the participants because of childcare situations. They have to pick up their kid after school, when kid in the middle school or elementary school, the time hours and the work hour schedules is different than the training. So if we can put the training hours work out within the kid in school, consider that, all the clients that may have that kid that need to picking up after school, that's another idea. And of course, housing, relocate the clients to different city because the high cost of living in Bay areas. That's what we see a lot of our participants moving out from Oakland, moving out to, different cities. And that's where we lose our participant in the middle of the training. Skill set, 21st century, essential skill, the core service component, the soft skill, the workplace training, all these skill sets is the combinations of everything, you name it. Basically, this is what our challenge, the 8 different items that we see. This is our challenges. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you, everyone. Any quick questions? We are in overtime, but we have roughly a little less than 2 minutes still on the screen. Any pressing questions?
No questions. Just thank you very much for all of this. I've learned a lot, and definitely some things that we're going to be able to implement as we are working also with the immigrant population.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you to the Lao family team and for your great work in the community. And thank you to my co-host, Angela Gardner. And thanks to each of you for taking time to share this last hour with us. Hopefully you walk away with some good strategies, some good techniques that could be implemented in your agencies. So thank you. Have a great session.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.